decided to do a lesson. I was praying to see with anything that would I could talk about. But one thing that came to mind is godly men and godly women. So on the Torah study this weekend, the brother was talking about respecting man of Yah. People of Yah, don't be careful with your mouth. Just don't run off at the mouth. If you do offer correction, do it respectfully. Stuff like that. So it's somewhat like this, but just reinforcing the godly man and the godly woman. These are the type of beings that are going to get the kingdom and inherit the kingdom. These are the type of people who are not going to be cast out by Yah. When I was doing my study on a lesson that I did a few weeks ago, I was in Samuel. I'm going to go to 1 Samuel. And this one thing was, pretty remarkable, the type of a loving husband. And, somebody forsaking a loving husband for their own desires, their own personal desires, and you kind of overlook what you have in front of you, where you have a good wife or a good husband, this is a very good man, that really shows his love. It's not like the one with David and, I believe, not that one, but what is it, Sarah? He was trying to get to wife, but he was trying to get that his wife, because he had to do 7 years of servitude, but it was more so lusting. He was lusting after her, and then he got caught up in another 7 years. So it was 14 years he had to work. He had to work for her.
That wasn't
that was
Jacob. Jacob. Excuse me, Jacob. And Jacob just wanted her so bad, and he really didn't treat the other wife, how he was, I don't know the full details of their relationship, but it's not like he could have did a better job. But it's not like that. This is depicting
that girl's father took advantage of it.
Took advantage of his lust too, because he was basically almost, I need to have her. Boy, that's some lust, right?
Beautiful.
That's if a woman can put you in 7 years of servitude, after 7 years of servitude, boy, that's and you ain't have not one date with her or nothing, but that's some boy. Woo. But this is on the lines of that, but talking about a good man, how a good man treats his wife, and this is the type of man that's going to get in the kingdom. This is the type of husband that's going to get in the kingdom. 1 Samuel, I'll read to verse 8.
Oh,
verse 8?
You said 1 Samuel. You're reading to verse 8. 1 Samuel what?
1 Samuel 1.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to start at the very first verse.
1 Samuel 1 through...
Going to go through 1 to 8. And some of these names are a little elaborate, so I'll try to...
Yeah, that first one.
Yeah. He's a good brother, though. Now there was a certain man of Ramatham Zaphim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jerahim, the son of Elihu, the son of Tuhu, and the son of Zupha, and Zepharat, and he had 2 wives. And he had 2 wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other Penana. It's interesting, boy. Israel got some elaborate names, boy. You be reading this.
Guess what? They all on cover.
I know.
So,
Ain't no ill will. I'm just saying, you got some. You can imagine the names in the kingdom, boy. And Penana had children. See, Hannah didn't have children. Penana had children, but Hannah had no children. And this man went out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto Yah of hosts in Shalom. And it's a good man. He going out and doing the Yah's work, sacrificing, going to the temple yearly, showing reverence. And 2 sons of Eli, Hophni, and Phinehas, the priest of Yah, were there. And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife. So Elkanah is the husband, the righteous husband, and it was time for them to do their yearly giving to their families and giving their portions to their wives and whatnot, and to all her sons and her daughters portions. But Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah, but Yah had shut up her womb, and her adversary also provoked her sore. Meaning the other wife, you really get down in the Bible, man. There's a lot of mocking barren women. I mean, it's a lot of mocking. It's sad, really. Marked her for to make her fret, because Yah had shut up her womb. And as he did so yearly by year, the husband, when she went up to the house of Yah, she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat. She was coming at her hard, to make her leave. Then said Elkanah, her husband, to her, Hannah, why weepest thou, and why eatest thou not? And why is thine heart grieved? Am I not better to thee than 10 sons? Now this is a good man, and a lot of people, this woman was so overwhelmed with being barren, she forgot the treasure that was right in front of her, and that's why he said, am I not better than 10 sons? A lot of people get that confused when they have children. Their children become the gem of their relationship when they are supposed to be the gem of their relationship. And Hannah lost sight of that, and this is a good man. Not only did he love Hannah, he even gave Hannah a greater portion when it was time for him to give portion. And she worried about being barren. Like, this man is providing great to you. You can talk to him. He loves you, but you're just so closed-minded in your sight, focused. You're not focused on the right thing, and you're missing the gem that's right in front of you, which is a godly man. Right. And this is the type of man that's going to get into the kingdom. And it later go on. One of the priests thought she was drunk, and he, sent out a prayer to Yah, and he opened up her womb, and she was happy and whatnot. Going to go to Job now. Job 1. Talking about righteous, godly man. Godly man. These are the type of man that's going to inherit the kingdom. Now, we know the story. We should know the story of Job, how Job's life hit a U-turn really bad. But quick. I mean, like, one second everything was good, and the next second it went all bad. But we ain't talking. I mean, it went bad, boy. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the first part of it, though. But this is why Job went through this. Job went through this because he was a godly man, a righteous man, and Yah said, you know what? I put my money on a righteous man any day of the year. Any day. And Satan, the adversary, I'll take that bet. He's not as righteous as you think he is. But at the end of the day, Job was able to, continue. He had a little bumps on the thing, but he was able to show himself a godly man. But read a few verses in chapter 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was perfect. Perfect. Verse 1, blameless, translates to blameless, and upright, and one that feared Yah, and eschewed evil. Meaning he shunned evil. You want to go smoke some? Yah, get away from me, you sinner. Yeah. No ganja smoking. You want to go rob a car? Yeah. Just how they be renting their clothes and John renting his clothes. Get away from me with all that sin. This man, not only did he stay away from it, he shunned it. It's a good man, because a lot of people say they're good, but they can be around evil and they don't rebuke it. And the godly are supposed to rebuke evil. You're just not supposed to stay there in it. Verse 2, and there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she-asses in a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. Only a godly man this happens to. Only a godly man. And his sons went and they had a feast and whatnot. But you see the blessings that come with being a godly man. Nobody in here wouldn't want what Job had. I'm set. I'm set. Who don't want this? Your loins are fruitful because you got children. You got money. You got cattle. You got land. I mean, this is how it's gonna be in the kingdom. That's brother Jay, Eastern Coast. He got all his stuff. That's brother Tim. He over there with all his substance. These are righteous men getting all these substances from Yah because they are godly men. Not only do they practice what Yah want them to practice, they eschew evil. Y'all prostitutes, get away from here. Calling the cops. They trying to put evil away. They just not trying to tolerate it. That's a lot of people get caught up. You want to be a well-rounded godly man or a godly woman. You just don't want to settle for a portion of it. You want to have that whole part. Because Job had the whole, that's why he went through how many verses are in Job? He went through 41 verses of hell. Only a righteous man gonna do this. A wicked man chapter 2 is done. I'm done. So only the godly. And this is why, just like there's people at the jobs, the managers be like, well, if they got an important project to do, I'm going to go, Johnny, he's the go-to person, because Johnny is dependable. A godly man is dependable to Yah, and that's why when we were talking about the talents last week, Yah gave the person who had 10 talents another 10 talents. Because you know what? This is a godly man, and I can go to, and I can give this person the kingdom, the keys to the kingdom. He's going to do what he needs to do. The last one for the godly man going to be Luke 10 to 25. Luke 10 to 25. All right. 10 to 25. I had to look for this verse. I was looking. Luke 10, 25. Chapter 10, verse 25 to 37.
You said 10, 25. Luke.
Luke chapter 10, verse 25,
and then
to verse 37.
Okay.
Got it, Brother King?
Yes. Sir.
Okay. All right. 25. Now this is this parable about the Good Samaritan, and there's even stuff to this day. Good Samaritans, the Good Samaritan laws, even to this day. And this is very unique because even the Jews didn't help this man. This man on the side of the road, car broke down, and the Jews just keep walking by, and they don't pay him no mind. His head busted, and they like, people still do that to this day. But 25 to 37 reads, and behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said unto him, what is written in the law? The law done. Whoa, man, as a side note, my pastor say the law done away with. Your pastor is a liar and the devil. Who should say, what is written in the law? How readest thou? And he answering said, thou shalt love Yah thy Abba with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. These are the attributes of a good man, a man who always loving Yah. He forsook the world to love Yah. 28. And he said unto him, thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live. But that's another precept to keep the law. In verse 27, the lawyer is saying, well, you got to keep the law. And Yahusha is saying, yes, that's right. That's a tremendous cut to anybody saying don't keep the laws. Right. Behold, but he willing to justify, but this is how they try to get out of it though. But he willing to justify himself said unto Yahusha, and who is my neighbor? And Yahusha answering said, here go them parables again. A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him and departed, leaving him half dead. So this person half dead. You beat up pretty bad, man. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed by on the other side. Whoa. We getting what this is? We got a priest supposed to be doing what verse 27 say, pass you by. Now we got somebody in the Levitical priesthood. The person who know the law the best are the Levites, to be honest. They looking at him, whatever. And verse passed him by the other side, 32. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed him by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. I think the Samaritan might be a Gentile or a heathen, perhaps. But perhaps. Verse 34. And went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence and gave them to the host, and said unto him, and let's see how much 2 pence is. 35 and 2. 35 and 2. Innkeeper. Dinar. I don't know how much a dinar is. But to take somebody in for a couple days, it probably had to be significant. Take care of him, and whence thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. 36. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was neighbor unto him that fell among the thieves? And he said, he that showed mercy on him. Then said Yahusha unto him, go and do likewise. And that's the end of that. And this is the characteristics of a good man who's going to get into the kingdom. This man didn't know this man, but you know what he did? He did verse 27. He kept the law, and instead of like the priest and the Levite, he passed by and he had compassion on him. And not only did he have compassion on him for that moment, he went into his pocket and brought him to a place where he could be healed. And then he said, if you spend more money on him, the next time I pass by, I'll help and pay the rest of it. This is the characteristics of a good man. This is the characteristics of somebody you want to know, that you want to have to be. If you want to depend on somebody, this is the good person here, the good Samaritan. The characteristics. Job and the other brother from 1 Samuel. These are the godly man that's going to inherit the kingdom. Now we're going to move on to godly women. Going to go back to 1 Sam 25. We're going to go to 1 Samuel 25 about the godly woman. What type of woman is going to inherit the kingdom? 1 Samuel 25. Yes, sir. 1 Samuel 25. Talking about Abigail, the godly woman. And the story starts a little background about it. Abigail's husband Nabal.
I'm sorry, what verse?
Gonna 10. Gonna just give a little background. Nabal was a high stature, had a high stature in the land, and he had some issues with David, with disrespecting David, and his wife Abigail was peeping it out that David was about to come kill him because of his disrespect. And being a godly woman and wanting to protect her husband, she made haste to correct the foolishness that her husband got himself in by disrespecting the king recklessly. I mean, Nabal was reckless with his mouth to David, and Abigail did some things to help out the situation. And so that's a little first part of it, but a little background on it. Going to go to 18. So we know the background. Nabal was reckless with his mouth, and David was coming to kill him. Verse 18. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready to dress. Man, boy, that is a woman. You ever seen how big a sheep is? She got 2 bottles of wine, loaves, and 5 sheep, and she ready to dress them. Means she's ready to process them for David's army to eat. And the scriptures say she made haste. See, a good, godly woman gonna make haste to do godly things. That's a lot of work. I mean, any man, if you ask a man to dress 5 sheep in haste, that's a lot of work. The guts, then everything, boy. Then you gotta cook it. But sheep and 5 measures of parched corn and 100 clusters of raisins. Boy, she bought dessert and everything, boy. and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on asses. Boy, that donkey was packed.
There was more than one.
But I'm just saying, any donkey that was there was packed. They had 5 donkeys, it was packed, And she said unto her servants, Go on before me, behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal. And it was so, as she rode on the ass, the donkey, that she came down by the covert of the hill, and behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them. So David coming down because he don't know what's up. Now David, 21, now David said, Surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow hath in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him, and he hath requited me evil for good. So David just let him know, hey man, while I was over in this area, I kept everybody from destroying his goods and his field, and I did all this in vain. Because you ever done something for a person, and then a few days later they turn around and they disrespect you? That's the same thing Nabal was doing right here. Yeah, I don't care, David, that you helped me out. I don't care. Very disrespectful. And that's the background there. Just gonna go down a little bit more to where, and David received her hand that which he had bought. So we're gonna go down to, I think, 32. And David said to Abigail, Blessed be Yah Abba of Israel, which sent thee this day to meet me. So after they received the goods, and she apologized for her husband on her behalf because of what he did, David received what she did, this godly woman. And blessed be thy advice. Don't a woman supposed to be a helpmeet? When you mess up, oh, nah, dear, it's this. That's what a helpmeet is supposed to do. That's a godly woman. A godly woman is supposed to keep you from making stupid mistakes, to help you make godly actions.
Correct your mistake.
Yeah, correct your mistake and help you make godly actions too, Mm-hmm. Which has kept me this day from coming to shed blood. David thank you, godly woman, because I was sure about to come kill your husband. And a lot of people, think this is a joke. When a king said he about to do something, he about to do it. When Yah say he about to do something, he about to do it. So David didn't get all these men to go play patty cake with him or talk it out. Oh, I'm going to get my game and we're just going to act like we're going to do something. No, David came to kill you. Yeah. There you go. And from avenging myself with my own hand. For in very deed, as Yah of Israel liveth, which hath kept me back from hurting thee, except thou hast hasted and came to meet me, surely there had not been left unto Nabal by the morning light any that pisseth against the wall. I mean, this is some old time serious language. That, man, say something one more time. Say something one more time, I'm gonna break your jaw. Say, they giving you a warning, and he said, man, like anybody who pissed against the wall, I was about to kill. I mean, these some serious words. These some fighting words. 35. So David received of her hand that which she had bought him, and said unto her, Go up in peace to thine house. See, I have hearkened to thy voice, and have accepted thy person. And Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he held a feast in his house, like the feast of a king, and Nabal's heart was merry within him, for he was very drunken. Wherefore she told him nothing, least or more, until the morning light. This woman full of wisdom, a godly woman. But it came to pass in the morning, when the wine was gone out of Nabal, he was sober, and his wife had told him these things, that his heart died within him, and he became as a stone. And it came to pass about 10 days after that Yah smote Nabal, that he died. Now, we know Abigail is a good woman, a godly woman. And what did David do? As soon as her husband got out the picture, as soon as she was available again, he said, I'm going to take this godly woman. Come here, girl. This is a godly woman. Everybody want a godly woman. Well, because that's a treasure right there. And David the king, and David is not somebody, this is a king saying, come here, girl. Come here, you mine now, So, he kept, that righteous one, Yeah. The law says you can have more than one wife, so, however he got down, but you got to treat them all with respect and do benevolence and, all that stuff. So I don't know how he got down, but, if he was doing the law, he did write the book of Psalms, so he wasn't, he wasn't that bad.
He wrote a lot of books in Psalms. He ain't writing the whole book.
Well, yeah, a lot of books in Psalms, he definitely showed himself that he was a righteous man. Proverbs 31:10 to 31. Proverbs 31, chapter 31, verse 10 to 31.
Verse 10 to 31?
Yes, sir. See, a lot of people, when they say, I got a Proverbs 31 woman, you better make sure you got the verses too. Proverbs 10, to 31. Those are the verses about the virtuous woman. Okay, read on. Again, this is the godly woman. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? That's why when King David got Abigail, he got treasure. He's like, I got a treasure. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. And that's exactly, even though Nabal was a wicked man, that woman gave him no wickedness in return. She gave him good servitude in her marriage as a wife. 13. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She made haste to get all the cattle, the sheep, and the raisins, and the fig cakes, and everything else. She worketh. Verse 14. She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She even helped the servants. She considered a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planted a vineyard. She girded her loins with strength, and strengthened her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. Yeah. Verse 20. She stretches out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reaches from her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow, for her household, of all her household are clothed with scarlet. So, man, this is a woman. She making sure all her children are legit. They dress good. They eating good. If she got to put in some work, she gonna put in some work. This is a good woman. This is a good woman. A lot of women think they Proverbs 31 woman. You got some fine. Once you get to the fine details, you are not. Verse 21. She is not afraid. No, verse 22. She making herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. I mean, Proverbs 31, 10:31 woman, she doing it big. She looking good. Woo. 23. Her husband is known in the gates. When they see Bobby, they see Bobby, hey, Bobby, you got it, Bobby. You got rubies, Bobby. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. Man, that's deep, man. When Bobby just chilling and sitting down, they know Bobby got that woman. Everybody walking by Bobby smiling at him. Bobby got a good woman. Alright. Verse 24. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in the time to come. Kingdom. She opened her mouth with wisdom. She opened her mouth with wisdom. And in her tongue is the law of kindness. Didn't Yahusha say that the Pharisees they do the law, but they don't see the bigger part of the law. Mercy, grace, compassion. This woman makes sure she has kindness. Verse 27. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Now that's talking about the women who think they Proverbs 31, 10-31 women. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou, the real Proverbs 31 woman, excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth Yah, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. This is a woman that is getting the kingdom 100%. And see, a lot of women, boy, you think you doing it, but read 29. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. She a spaceship, and y'all bicycle. She gone. Okay.
Spaceship and they paper plane.
I mean, she excels them. She on a different planet. And the last one gonna be 1 Timothy 5:14.